Greetings friends, Ted here. Welcome to my kitchen. Sorry, this was not my plan. We'll consider that in just a moment. Today, I thought, what a good title, subject matter. Do you appreciate your neighbors? Oh, you say, you have good and bad, right? Some are nice people, some are ugly, some hide in their houses. Who knows, you may even have a hoarder who has a garbage pit for property. I get that, yeah, that happens too. No, the neighbors I'm talking about are community, state, province, country, whatever. Well, you know, I appreciate my American neighbors. Every time I travel through the U.S., I appreciate them. Not very often I've even seen an unkind, unpleasant person there. Maybe I've been fortunate. Maybe you've been there and you ran into some that weren't so good. Okay. Today I want to talk about the way they share. Okay. Now we think about Wyoming, Montana, Colorado, North and South Dakota. What do they normally share with me? Today's weather. Okay. My plan was to have lunch out in the bush. I found an alternate route into the south end of the woodlot that I could get in. Yeah, it means going in the four-wheel drive in the Jeep, and that's okay. But they share so much weather with us, you know. Now true, from Alberta and Saskatchewan we get stuff coming through from the straight west also, but if you look at the map of North America, any strong winds from the south, meaning Gulf of Mexico, especially in the wintertime, it'll bring us snow. We have blizzards that come in from Colorado. Why not, right? Send them up our way. Canada is known for the land of snow. And this summer, rain. Shared with us by, like I said, Montana, Wyoming, North and South Dakota, and today is one of those days. We've already had a thunderstorm go by. It's pouring out, and there's worse on the way. So I've just stayed home. There's no sense of me going out into a soggy bush. The earth here in the bush, prairie gumbo we call it, okay? It's a clay, black soil type thing. Doesn't matter what kind of a tread pattern you've got on your four-wheel drive, they fill up with mud. Today we're going to do something different. I'm going to make my lunch right here at home on top of my range, but I'm going to go to using my Trangia. I'm going to take time to move things around a little bit, and then we're going to make lunch. It may surprise you, maybe not. After all, you know me a little bit, right? Okay, so here we go. Okay, now I have most of the things sitting here on the cupboard, and so we'll bring them over to the range. First thing, okay, I brought this package, easy for you to read. Now, okay, this brand, Mr. Noodles, I don't find them too bad. And normally we get them with either beef or chicken imitation flavoring. Okay, and ramen noodles this away. Beef again. Can you tell I like the beef flavored? Okay. Like I said, we also get chicken. I did some chopping up last night in preparations for my outing to the woodlot. Inside I've got buffalo jerky made from, yes, genuine buffalo. And there's mixed vegetables out of a frozen pack. And I cut them up and then put the freezer bag back in the freezer. So we'll have it here. Now I'm going to move the big package of noodles back out of the way. The pot you've seen before, right? Yeah, I've got my Svea 123 in it. But I want the pot. On top of that is a little homemade out of a Campbell soup can. We'll call it a stove to hold my Trangia. Of course, 4 ounces of alcohol we're not going to need. And of course matches. What I'm going to do, I'm going to sit it on top of a burner. Trangia is going to need fuel. And so we will lower things down a little bit and move over here. The snuffer, of course, I'm going to open it because I predict I'll need it. Open. And as you can see, it's empty. Set it aside. Now I'm going to give it, I'm going to say a couple ounces. Set it inside the big box. And by the way, this is Redbird. Came with 250 in it. Okay, now I'm going to light. Okay, the Trangia is now burning. Okay, I dipped the match in water for fresh air, and you have a vent right over top the stove. Okay, and the only thing that I want out of here is, remember this GSI gripper? I'm going to need that. Pot holds 1.4 liters. Now, I'm using a Brita water filter, a small Brita. 2 cups of water. I'm going to sit it on even though we haven't popped yet. It'll get around to it eventually, right? If I get it right, my aim is to separate the jerky first. And I must admit, when I cut it up last night, I had some. I ate a whole stick of it. It's actually quite tender. Now, these vegetables also are still frozen. My plan was to do it this way. We'll invite you back probably in about 2 minutes or so. I give it time to bring the water closer to a boil. We're just about at a boil, and it's only taken a couple minutes. Now, since the vegetables are frozen, I want them to cook a bit longer than the noodles time. And as you can see, that's how small most of the pieces are. A piece of broccoli. Okay. And what I'm finding is that the jerky has floated to the surface. It's not quite at a boil. I'm going to put in the noodles. We're not boiling yet, but it's so close. Right now the flame is actually bigger than the pot, okay? It's coming up the sides. Let's take it off. Sit it on the back burner. A GSI mug. If I don't measure the volume of water, it will be too strong. 16 ounces exactly to the brim. Anyway, I'm going to take and put the soup in there so I don't have a hot pot. And we'll give you an idea here. When I bought this, I thought probably it was a 12-ounce one, and I'm going to let that cool a bit. The pot is sitting back there. There it is. So, this I was going to do outside, set up with my tarp beside the Jeep. It's one way that I find very convenient, is to fasten the narrow side of my tarp to the roof rack of my Jeep, bring it out the side, tie it to bushes, and it gives me a shelter. Okay, so I have the soup. Now, I know it doesn't look like much coffee there. By the time I get the soup eaten, the coffee should be cooled down adequately. And I'm putting this back on here just because it's hot, okay? Anyway, so that's it. What I've really made is more of a stew, isn't it? However, it's something that I enjoy. It's something convenient. I have a kit in the car. It has been my pleasure to have had you join me today. And hopefully we'll get some nicer weather. I'll tell you, between the heat and humidity, poison ivy, and yes, there's still construction on that natural gas pipeline. It has been really interesting. Hopefully next week we'll get out fishing and take along this kit plus the other one that's in the car. Makes it interesting. We can mix and match things up a little bit. In the meantime, keep well, take care of each other. Thank you for being with me. I appreciate your time that you spend with me each day. To my American friends, neighbors, okay, and my countrymen from the West, thank you. Lots of rain, don't need more. Take care. God bless. Ted's clear.